Why, hello everybody. We are back, and actually we are bringing you a wonderful Frame Fatales event, Game of the Month journey, and we're gonna start with our Pokemon Snap. We are doing this in celebrating Women's History Month, and to kick it off, the Pokemon Snap is gonna be featuring Candy and Charbunny. We are gonna just a few little things just to kind of reminder everybody. Summer Games Done Quick 2022 game submissions are open now until March 30th. You can find more information at gamesdonequick.com. So definitely excited for this whole kickoff showcase, especially with Pokemon Snap. Whenever you're both ready, take it away.
Hello. I'm Candy. I'm MrsCandyria, mostly known as Candy, and I'm gonna be running Pokemon Snap. The old version, although there's a new one right now.
And hi, I'm Charbunny. I'm excited to help guide you through the wonderful world of Pokemon today.
I'm just gonna restart the console because RNG. I was important to reset the RNG. I'm gonna start by the moment I put my name, and then when the screen turns dark, I'm gonna start this time at the timer. So 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, welcome everyone. Pokemon Snap is a fun game about taking adorable pictures of Pokemon or mean pictures of Pokemon if it gives us more points. Whatever we do works. The first place we're gonna go to is the beach, and the first thing the game needs to do is teach us how to take pictures. So we're gonna take 3 required pictures of Pidgeotto as part of the tutorial, and then a bonus 4th one for more points. We'll talk about points in a second. There's Doduo. We're looking down to avoid lag. We're gonna be grabbing a picture of Pikachu right here. We're gonna be aiming for its tail, and then we're gonna be looking up into the clouds. So here comes Pikachu. Hi Pikachu, good to see you. Hope you're having a good morning as well. You'll notice that we're looking at a specific spot on the clouds. That is because that's where Butterfree is going to appear. We know this. These events are scripted, which is really, really nice for us. And then after that, we're going to take a quick turn and grab a picture of Lapras. Lapras is actually the reason we reset our console. We needed that to show up here. And now we stare at the sky for a bit. I know that was a whole lot right at the beginning of the run, so I'm going to take a deep breath and explain a few things. So the first
Take a deep breath.
Whew. Chat, feel free to take one with me. So the reason we're staring at the sky right now is for something called lag reduction. Basically, this game operates on hide and seek or peekaboo rules, where as long as you can't see it, it doesn't exist. This game is running on the Nintendo 64, and the Nintendo 64 does struggle a bit with some of the graphics in this game, some of the objects that are going to be running around. So if we're looking at the ceiling, or it's a sky, I guess it's not a ceiling, that makes things a little bit easier on the game, and it's going to keep it running at a nice, smooth 30 FPS. It's kind of like if you tried to draw this picture in Microsoft Paint, you'd probably draw it pretty quickly, but if you tried to draw a Psyduck, it would take longer. Same logic here for the game. The thing is, we do need to take more pictures of Pokemon. This is not the entire game, but we're going to be using sound cues to help us understand when to look down. The next Pokemon we're trying to take a picture of is Meowth, and thankfully there's a Doduo that jumps out of the grass before Meowth appears, so we're going to be listening for that Doduo. There it goes, and Meowth is going to show up right in front of us. Here it is. So friendly. I like that Meowth. We're going to try to get a picture of Kangaskhan to finish things out, and then an Eevee right after that. So there's Kangaskhan, Eevee's right behind that very weird looking sphere, and we're out of the first level. Congratulations. So the way this game works in terms of advancement is that in some levels, we just want to get some pictures of Pokemon and then peace out as soon as we've gotten everything we came for. That's the case with this first beach level. We got all the Pokemon we wanted, so we leave the level early and quit out without finishing it. For some later levels, we need to get secret exits, and so we'll actually be finishing them all the way through. For this first one though, our main goal is to get enough points to get an apple. So we're watching the points here on the screen as they're coming up. Pictures are looking pretty good, I think. Oh, that was a nice one of Meowth. And at the end, we're going to see how many points we have total. 22k is fantastic. We need to get to 24k by the time we leave Tunnel for the first time. So we just finished Beach. That's all we need to do to get to Tunnel. The thing is, we actually want the apples. We need a certain number of points, but we also want a tunnel. We needed 2 things at once. We're a little bit greedy with this. And the problem is the game will only give us 1 thing at once. You can either unlock a new area or you can unlock an item, and the area will always take priority. So in order to get the apple, we have to go into tunnel and come back out. That's what will let the game give us the item that we want. That was just over 24k. Very nicely done. And now we should get our apple. The reason that we need apples is we'll need this to trigger the secret exit in tunnel, which is what is going to let us progress in the game. We're also going to use them right away. Hey, we have them, why not? What we're going to do is we're going to do some manipulation on this Electabuzz. So we're going to hit it with one apple as it's coming through this tunnel. Then we're going to wait, look away for some lag reduction. It's going to come back towards us, and we're going to hit it with yet another apple, just making sure this Electabuzz is having a great day. And that's going to light it up so it's chasing us, which sounds terrifying, but makes, again, for an absolutely fantastic photo op. So there it is. Look at how nice and centered and large it is in that frame. Beautiful Electabuzz picture. The next thing we're looking for is going to be a Kakuna. You can see that they're going to drop down here when something explodes, so we'll hit this electrode, make it explode. We're just throwing apples at a lot of things. In later games they called them fluff fruit to try to be nice about it, but we're basically just pelting Pokemon with fruit and calling it a day. That gave us our picture of Kakuna. Zubat's going to come flying through this gate. The timing on that just sort of happened, so great job catching that picture. And now we're looking at the ceiling again. This time it actually is kind of a cave ceiling, so I got my terminology more on track. And once again we're listening for a sound cue, this time for a Magikarp. Magikarp is actually found in every single level in this game. There's actually a Magikarp percent, but for our speedrun we only need to get one of them, so there is our singular Magikarp that we're gonna grab in this run. The next thing we're looking for is Diglett, and one of the things about this game is it is pretty scripted, but things will change based on the actions you take. So with Diglett, we want Dugtrio. A Dugtrio is 3 Diglets, so we're going to take 3 pictures of Diglets and then we'll get a Dugtrio. Perfect game logic. Here's our first one popping up in front of Pikachu. We're going to grab our second one here a little bit further to the right, Pikachu sort of telling us where to go. We're going to turn back and grab a picture of this floating orb. That's a Haunter. You'll see it when we take the actual picture and we're reviewing our pictures, but for now just take my word for it, there's a Haunter there. There's our third Diglett. So Dugtrio is now going to show up. We're going to take a picture of it here, but we're not going to use that picture. We actually want a better one where there's 2 Dugtrios. If you have more Pokemon in your picture, you get more points. We'll talk about points a bit later on. But basically, we need them for all the items in this game. The final section of tunnel is going to be Magnemite and Magneton. This is another example of 3 Pokemon make a new one. So here we're going to use apples to lure a Magnemite closer to us so we can take a really good picture of it. Look at how beautiful that looks. And then put it back with its friends to get them to form into a set of 3. You'll also know Cutie is throwing an apple at an electrode off to the right side of the screen. That's going to create an explosion, and that is our first secret exit out of a level. The level will finish as soon as that electrode explodes, so you have to make sure you take the picture of the Magneton before that happens or you will miss it. Cutie does a very nerve-inducing strategy, for me at least, where she triggers the explosion before she takes the picture, so she's got to make sure she grabs that before exiting. We're looking to have, I think, 50k points here, so hopefully these pictures turn out well. See, look, Electabuzz, looking fantastic. Cutie, how are you feeling about things so far?
I'm just bedazzled. My brain is bedazzled right now. Definitely love the... There's a lot of information I didn't know about this speedrun, actually, and it's actually really informative to hear, like, you have to have sound cues. I played this game as a kid, but definitely never sped run it, so it's really interesting to find out that even Magikarp is in every level. I didn't even know that.
I don't remember if Pikachu's also in every level, but there's a couple Pokemon that will make repeat appearances. So here again, this is the photo evaluation part. This is where our photos are being judged. We did get our 50k, so congratulations. We're doing great on pace for Volcano. Volcano is our next area. Right away at the beginning, we're going to try to grab a picture of some Rapidash. We'll see one, but we're going to ignore it because we want 2 at once. Again, having more Pokemon gives you more points. So we're going to throw an apple as we see those 2 come around the corner. They're going to pose for us, which is going to be great, and we're going to try to get a Vulpix immediately after. If a Pokemon is posing, so it's eating an apple or doing some other cute special animation, the game doesn't care as much whether or not it's facing your camera. Some of the evaluation criteria is whether or not the Pokemon's in the center of the frame, how large it is, and whether or not it's facing the camera. But that last one you can get around by having it do a cute pose. The next thing we're going to try to do is ruin a poor Charmander's day. I always feel sad at this part of the run because Charmander's my favorite. But Charmander and Magmar are going to spawn on a platform together. It's random where they spawn, so we'll just have to see what pattern we get for this. But our goal is to give Charmander an apple and not Magmar. That looks a little bit better than some of the practice ones that we had. So if we give Charmander an apple and not Magmar, we'll get a nice picture. Oh, Magmar ran in front. This is going to be fun. If we get Charmander eating the apple, that's a great picture for Charmander. So see, look at how happy it is. But Magmar is going to be grumpy about this and blast Charmander with fire and knock it out, which is just so rude. And it involves to do a Charmeleon, and that's great for our points. So thanks, game. Promise the Charmander's okay. Final Pokemon of this level is this Moltres. We're going to knock that egg into the lava and then wait for it to fly up in the air to take a picture with some points. You can take pictures earlier if you're doing really, really great on points, but this is definitely a good way to go for a marathon appearance, making sure we get a nice solid picture of that Moltres. This is the only legendary bird we'll see in the run. We will trigger Zapdos, kind of, and Articuno will never be seen because it's too far into the level where it appears. Volcano is one of the levels without a secret exit, so you'll notice that as soon as we took that last picture of our Pokemon, we are out of there. No more waiting, we're done. So the sooner you take that picture of the mole trace, the more time you save is kind of how this one goes. This entire run is sort of a balance around how quickly can you take the pictures versus how many points do you need. For River, this is another case where we're trying to unlock an item and an area at about the same time. So we're gonna go in here, take one picture of a Poliwag. Here it is, it's gonna jump up, be nice and cute for the camera, hopefully. Come on, Poliwag, be a friend. There we go. It's just so bouncy.
Keep jumpy. Yeah, there you go.
And that should hopefully get us...
His jump is RNG, so sometimes he doesn't jump, so it's scary.
Oh, gotcha. Good to know.
And the reason we need to do that is because we need to get to 72.5k points in order to get the Pester Ball. The Pester Ball is our next item. It's going to explode and bother Pokemon when it hits them, in case the apples weren't annoying enough. If we can choose between apples and a Pester Ball, we'll choose apples because apples have less lag. Pester Balls, with their particle animations, their sort of fun explosion, are going to make the game work a little bit harder, but we do need them for the secret exit in this level, which is why it was important to get them. So here we're going to knock a Charmander, or sorry, not a Charmander, wow, I'm awake today. Bulbasaur, please don't make me write an apology, GDQ. We're going to knock a Bulbasaur out of a stump, get another one out here with apples, and you can see they're doing these adorable little poses. We do want them to be posing, because again, then we can take better quality pictures, and we do want both of them in frame, because that's great as well. The next thing we're looking for is actually going to be sort of this combination. We've got Slowpoke, Shelter, and Slowbro all coming up. The way Slowpoke canonically evolves into Slowbro is by having a Shelter eat its tail. And in this game, the way they did that is they have these little Shelter fishing spots that the Slowpokes can go to. So we're going to try to get the Slowpokes over to these fishing locations, you can see as indicated by the Shelter sign, so that they get a Shelter up on their tail. We're going to take two pictures here first, one of the Shelter as it's grabbing the tail, which is worth a ton of points, and of the Slowbro as it's sort of chilling. And then we're going to try to get this Slowpoke over the fishing spot as well, because this is once again a nice special pose, so we can get nice and close, get a large picture of it in frame, and it doesn't matter if it's facing us because it's considered special. The next thing here is going to be Metapod. We're going to want two of them, again, just for more points in our picture. So we're going to knock them out of sort of the trees by throwing Pester Balls at them. That's going to put them right in front of our camera and give us a very nice, large quality Metapod here in the picture. So you can see we're lining up. There's the center of the frame. There's our giant Metapod. We're all good to go. Psyduck's going to come around the corner. We're going to try to hit it with an apple. Boop, there we go. Get a nice picture of it sort of flailing around. And now we got Porygon. Porygon tries to camouflage in the sidewalls of these levels. With the Pester Ball, you can lure it out. And with another one, you can get it to drop its camouflage. So there we go. There's our Porygon. Yes! Cloyster showed up. Sorry. So Cloyster is RNG. That's one of the bigger RNG breakpoints in the run. If you don't get one of the 4 Cloyster spawns, you lose 20 to 25 seconds and have to do a backup. And I was so busy explaining how exciting it is that we did get Cloyster that I missed the fact that we got another Porygon to jump out of a wall through a Pester Ball at it, and that got it to hit a secret button that gave us our secret exit out of this level. That's why we needed to get the Pester Balls. That's how we're going to move on to Cave. Whew, lots of things in there. So to review, Bulbasaur, Slowpoke, Shelter, Slowbro, Metapod, Psyduck, Porygon, and Cloyster. See here we're selecting.
Can you say that 10 times fast?
No. I definitely cannot. What we're doing here is just selecting, in theory in the game if you're playing casually, you're selecting what you think are the best shots of each of these Pokemon. Again, for us, we kind of just take one picture of each Pokemon if we can, and that saves us a bit of time in menuing. There is some like menu optimization in how you select the pictures off the screen and what order you select them in. So glad we got Cloyster though. We're at 101, that's pretty good. All right, we're doing great. Cave is going to be up next. We are just going through all these in order as they unlock. For Cave, the first Pokemon we're going to be trying to get is going to be Ditto, but it's not going to look like a Ditto. First, we're going to see a Bulbasaur and be like, well, that's weird, they were in the last level. What are they doing here? But it turns out, dun dun dun, it's an imposter Bulbasaur. This is actually a Ditto. So we lure it closer to us with apples, and then we hit it with a Pester Ball. It's going to transform back into its true form. We're going to try to get it closer to us. It's going to do a fun little springy jump. Ready? Jump! It's so cute. We're going to get a great picture of it from there. We're then going to get what's called a red dot picture of that Grimer. Basically, if you look at the Pokeball in the center of the screen, if the center dot turns red, that's a red dot picture. And what that does is that helps trigger some of these other events. That will give us this Grimer here. We're going to hit it with 3 Pester Balls. Normally that would annoy a Pokemon, but Grimer and its evolution that we now get to see Muck actually kind of like that, because they're sort of sludgy Pokemon, and so the Pester Balls actually make them happy and dance around. So it works out perfectly that we have that item to make them like feel better, feel happy and everything. But unfortunately, our next Pokemon's not so happy. In this level, there is a Jigglypuff being chased by a coughing, and rather than helping this Jigglypuff out, we're just gonna hit it with an apple and make it even dizzier. We're not very nice in this game, I'll have to be honest. But it works. Speedrunning. Yay.
We gotta get the good pictures.
We
It's
do.
for the pictures.
So here we go. There we go. Bonk it with an apple, grab it, and coughing really quickly. And now we're going to try and knock this Weepinbell into this poisonous gas sludge. Again, just being super big friends of all the Pokemon here. That is going to get it to evolve into a Victory Bell, which is our final Pokemon that we're getting in this level. This is where we would have gotten a backup Jinx if we hadn't gotten Cloyster, but again, that's slow and we don't want to have to do that. So that's fantastic. The next level we're going to be going on to is Valley, and part of the reason that we needed all of these Pokemon so far, even if we didn't take like super phenomenal pictures on all of them, is because in order to unlock Valley, you need to have taken 40 unique pictures, which means you need to have taken 40 pictures of different Pokemon throughout the course of the run so far in order to make it this far. So some of the pictures that we took, we weren't really taking them for points, we were taking them for that Pokemon count instead. But again, with our routing, we should have everything we need to go. I'm just watching for the points again. Ooh, 125, not bad. So we're 5k off. What we need to do after Valley in order to get our next item, which is going to be the Poke Flute, is to get to 130k. So we need about 5k. Candy, do you have thoughts on which Pokemon you're grabbing?
Sure. I'm going for Geodude and
Sandshrew?
Sandshrew.
Nice.
Yeah, because I need around 5k. I need actually 4k and something, but just to not risk.
Let's just be safe. So the first thing that Candy did that I missed explaining is she took a picture of, there it is, so look at that, thank you. The Cutieroo in the background as a mountain. That is what this game calls a sign. We're gonna need to collect signs in every single one of the levels. I'm not sure sign is the most intuitive name for that, but basically there will be things in the background that look like Pokemon but aren't, and we'll need to get one of those in every level so far to unlock our final area. Here's where we're gonna get art for 2 Pokemon we're gonna grab for this one, which is that Geodude, and then look at this Sandshrew. It's just so excited to be here. It's fantastic. For Valley, we need the 130k to get the Poke Flute, but after that, we just need to get to the end of this level, and so we kind of get to chill again. Fun fact, this sky is slightly darker than the sky in Beach. We get to stare at both of these for a while. But one of the things I've been talking a lot about are these like points and everything, and I haven't really talked about like how that actually affects the speedrun. So the speedrun is all about just unlocking things as quickly as possible, and the items in particular need point boundaries to unlock. So the big trade-off in this game is taking sort of as few pictures as possible, or like very fast pictures to reduce lag, because anytime you're looking at a Pokemon, the game is more likely to lag than not. But at the same time, taking good enough pictures and getting enough points to be able to unlock all the items that are required. So in this level in particular, this is sort of the catch-up level for points, where the runners will pick which Pokemon they think they need at a minimum in order to meet the points requirements. So lots of balancing between how do you take a few really good quality pictures, while at the same time going fast enough to make it through the game, of course, as quickly as possible. This is one of the big differences between versions as well. We are playing on the Japanese version of the N64. There are actually 9 versions where there's 3 different consoles and 3 different languages throughout this game. The 3 consoles, N64 is pretty much the fastest. Some of the other versions don't have lag, but they score pictures more harshly, so it's harder to get good pictures, or it's harder to get them to count certain pictures as valid, and so that can be a bit of a problem. And the Japanese is fast because text. Here we go, we're finishing up the secret exit of this level. You can see these Squirtles running around. We are going to take this last Squirtle and knock it into a Mankey at the top of the mountain. That's going to move it closer to the button that we need. So here we go, we just need to line this up so the Squirtle is between us and the Mankey, hit it, and we're good to go. We're going to try to now snipe this Mankey over the top of this mountain to hit the secret exit button. So here we go. There's visual cues for this one, I believe, instead of sound cues, but did it work? Did it work? There it is!
It's
Single shot, no look, great job.
Yeah,
So
that was a good job.
that gets us out of this section and into sort of the next section of the game, which is going to be all about collecting those signs. So remember at the beginning of this level, we saw Cutieroo in the background, and it wasn't actually a Pokemon, it was just sort of a vague blob of mountains. We're gonna need to find something equivalent to that in every single level that we've visited so far. I am going to watch real quick because I think we got the points, but I just get nervous about this anyway. 130k is what we need. We're good?
yeah.
Nice! Alright, nailed it. I should not have doubted you. You definitely know what you're doing.
Don't worry, else is stopping me.
Awesome. So one thing that we also just got is we got the speed up mechanic. So the speed up mechanic means that if we're holding down R, we can actually move the cart forward faster, which is really fantastic for these sort of revisits. So you can see that R, the little target symbol in the bottom right of the screen, when it's shaking like that, that means we're doing the speed up. We're gonna go backwards through all the levels. So the first thing we're in is cave. We're looking for some sparkly gems off to the left side of the screen. That is gonna be our Mewtwo sign. It will not look like Mewtwo while we're looking at it in level, but when you see the picture that we take of the sparkly gems, Mewtwo will magically appear. I love how the camera just sort of works like that in this game. So there we go, there's our first cave, our first sign outside of Valley. The next one we're going to is River. At this point, we've also unlocked our Pokeflute. This is another case of unlocks when they're stacked, you can only have one at a time. So one of the reasons we do Cave before River is because we need the Pokeflute, and if we unlock it because we've exited Cave, then we're good to go for this next level. For River, we're looking for a Cubone statue, but it's kind of obscured behind a Vileplume that's puffing out a whole bunch of smoke. But if we use the Pokeflute, we can actually calm it down so it stops spewing poisonous gas and will clear the air enough for us to get a picture of this next sign. Once the dot in the center of the screen turns red, that's when the smoke's cleared enough for the picture to count. So that's what we're looking for. There we go, Cubone sign done. Next one is going to be Volcano. This one's kind of scary. We basically need to throw pester balls into like this volcanic cauldron right at the beginning of the level, and you just need to hit it. And a coughing like cloud of smoke will pop out and that'll be our sign, but this is one of those ones where if you don't get it right away, then trying to like aim these pester balls can be a bit obnoxious. So here we go. There it is. Nailed it. There's our coughing sign. That one's nice that it's right at the beginning of the level, so you're not doing a whole bunch of just boosting through things in order to get back and forth. For Tunnel, we will do a bit of boosting, but part of this is going to be a bit of a juke maneuver. We're going to do some fancy feet here with our cart. Cart mechanics work in that for the most part you're following a rail, but there is some room to the left and right where you can sort of deviate from that path just a bit. So what we're going to do here is zoom forward, and then at a certain point we're going to stop and turn and zoom to the right, and that's going to hopefully dodge us through this tunnel without running into either that Electrode or that Electabuzz. Both of them have somewhat decent hitboxes, Electabuzz being a bit larger, and so it's really nice that we can sneak around them with that careful cart movement there. Next thing we're looking for is this Pikachu and that egg. We're going to lure Pikachu closer to the egg using the apple, and then once it gets close, which is just something that Candy can do without looking because she's awesome like that, it's going to play the Pokeflute. That's going to trigger Pikachu to zap the egg, and that's what's going to trigger this projector further on the level that's going to give us the pincer sign. So we're looking at that wall over on the right side, or now it's in the center, looking for pincer, and there we go. Got the next sign. Final sign is going to be in Beach, which was the first level that we visited. We just have to go fast. So we do need to be boosting right from the start of this level, or we will run into the Pidgeys, which is unfortunate. If a Pokemon is in front of your cart, it will slow it down, so we're trying to avoid that if we can. But again, if we just hold boost while we're going into the level, we should be good to go on this. So just zooming forward, and then off to the left. As we pass it, these rocks are kind of going to line up into the Kingler formation. So there we go. There's our Kingler. That is our final sign. Now, with all of these conditions met, all of these signs found, we get to unlock the final area in the game, which is Cloud. This is where we're going to have our final Pokemon, Mew. Mew is RNG, so chat, please give us all your energy for this one.
RNG. RNG goodness, or pray RNG. Bless RNG.
All of those things.
All those things.
So Mew has a couple cycles. This first cycle, it's encased in a blue or green bubble. It's going to move to the left and right in front of us. So Candy's strategy for this is just to always throw apples to the left and hope it just spawns on that side. We'll just see how the luck goes. See, there we go. That was nice. We need 3 hits on this cycle before it moves into yellow cycle. Waiting for that. There. Oh, wow. Yeah, Mew is being nice there. For yellow cycle, Mew's going to rush towards us, and we're going to try to hit it before it passes. You can see Candy's strategy changes a little bit to alternate left and right. It's, again, random where this comes in. We're once again looking for 3 hits on this before we move into the final phase. The final phase, Mew will be exposed. It'll be out of its shield and ready for us to take a picture. It will spawn randomly on either the left or the right. So here we go, entering that final phase. Spawns on the 5th heartbeat. We're going to guess left and see what we get. Always the right side. That's the final piece of like
It's a 50-50. I always get the 50 wrong.
It doesn't seem like it, right? But we're almost at the end. Time is coming up very, very soon when we see red text on screen from Professor Oak saying that we're saving. I'll let you calm down. Oh, did you
16.
Time. Yay.
Time.
Congratulations, Candy. That was fantastic.
Congratulations to both of you. That was amazing. Honestly, the overall, like, I learned so much during this run. Thank you so much for the commentary, and that was an amazing run. Thank you for just showcasing this and showing it and everything. Definitely follow the runner and the commentator. I'll put their links in the chat below. But definitely, yeah, if you have anything to say, Candy and Charbunny, go ahead. If you have any questions for anyone who wants to get interested in the speed run, or just any shout outs or plugins? Be happy to do so now.
Thank you, Sure Bunny, for helping me with commentary. I will be shaking my boots because it's really complicated to play and talk at the same time, especially with this game that has too many details. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. And for anyone interested in getting into this game, there's a great tutorial out there on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it'll come up if you search for it, but if you reach out to either of us, I'm sure we can share it as well. That's where I learned this game from, so I definitely encourage people to check it out. But Candy, congratulations again. That was a fantastic run.
Thank you. That makes me happy.
Well, on that note, we are going to continue more with our Game of the Month celebration. Before we head on out, just a reminder for anyone that your subs, gift subs, Prime Gaming subs, and bits help support weekly hotfix content. Please consider supporting our daily content if you enjoy these hotfix shows. And if you have any ideas for your own show or one-off events, feel free to go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to submit your ideas. But definitely stick around. There's a lot more games coming up. We are going to have a fun-filled day. Sorry, I could talk. Fun-filled day of all the showcase games that we have learned over these Game of the Months. Game of the Months are basically the games that were decided in the Frame Patel server, and everybody was going to learn those games, and then now we're showcasing them today, and it's a great celebration for today and tomorrow. The next upcoming run is going to be the Untitled Goose Game with Alley Cat, so definitely stick around for that, and we will be back with some more Game of the Month celebrations.